Si estoy aquí hoy es para hacer la presentación de la Viceministra de Sudáfrica. En su van der Merwe vamos a ir a una de las voces que impulsaron la creación del llamado Renacimiento africano. Es una de las mujeres que desde el Parlamento de Sudáfrica, ella es miembro del partido en el gobierno, el ANC, desde el gabinete del presidente Thabo Mbeki o desde el propio Ministerio de Asuntos Exteriores, más han contribuido a este papel renacentista de la nueva Sudáfrica.
In other words, South African foreign policy is based very much on its domestic policy to create, as I have said, this better life for all. And so in considering our foreign policy in 1994, when we became a free and democratic country, the first item, the first policy pillar that we looked at was the development of a policy around the African agenda. For too long, South Africa, under the apartheid regime, had considered itself not really part of Africa. It was some kind of enclave of Europeanness at the southern tip of Africa. And we sought in our policy then to change that, to change South Africa's foreign policy to be directed first and foremost towards Africa. We considered ourselves a member of the African community. We considered ourselves a full country on the African agenda. This received a lot of criticism in some quarters, but I think over the years of the engagement that we have had as a country with Africa, we have proved this to be extremely important. And one of the factors that we looked at as a country, understanding that we lived in the neighborhood of the continent, and that if we were prosperous and nobody else was prosperous on the continent, we would not survive. We could not be a prosperous country in a sea of poverty. And so we engaged through our foreign policy with many initiatives on the continent. Importantly, we looked to the conflicts in Africa and worked with many countries to see where we could play some role together with other countries and together with continental bodies such as the African Union to make peace, to build peace and to keep peace. And I think that over the last 20 years, the large number of conflicts in Africa have decreased dramatically, and we are left now with a few lingering and difficult problems on the continent, but huge strides have been made towards peacemaking. This is largely due also to the formation of the African Union. The predecessor to the African Union, as you all know, was the Organization of African Union, whose focus really was to do away with colonialism and apartheid. And once South Africa became free of its apartheid masters, it was then time to turn the Organization of African Union into an African Union that looked at the development of the continent.